The night was unusually still, the kind of silence that made the city of Lagos feel like it was holding its breath. Detective Chike stepped out of his rusted Peugeot, adjusting the lapels of his coat against the humid air. He had lived in Lagos his whole life, but the city never stopped surprising him. Its chaos by day, its dark secrets by night. Chike was known for one thing: persistence. He never left a case unfinished, no matter how many shadows he had to chase. And tonight, he was following the trail of a case that had been gnawing at his mind for weeks. The murder of an unnamed man, dumped near the abandoned railway tracks in Yaba. No identity, no family stepping forward, no witnesses. Just a body left to rot with a single bullet wound to the chest. Something about it unsettled him. He didn't know why. He only knew he couldn't sleep until he uncovered the truth. He lit a cigarette, inhaling deeply, his mind replaying the details of the case file. The man had been tall, lean, and around his mid-40s. Worn leather shoes, a faint scar above his left eyebrow. Chike had seen the photographs over and over, but every time, something about them clawed at his chest, as though his body recognized what his mind refused to see. The city whispered when he walked its streets. Street vendors, old women at the roadside, even the drunks outside smoky bars, seemed to look at him with a quiet recognition. "Detective," they would greet, their voices carrying a strange weight, as though they knew more than they said. The deeper he dug, the stranger it all became. No one remembered seeing the man before his death. No record of his existence. Yet Chike began hearing his own name, whispered in the silence of his apartment. The kind of whispers that seeped into his dreams and pulled him awake, drenched in sweat. Find him. Find yourself. One evening, while combing through the case files again, Chike's hand froze. His breath hitched as his eyes locked on a line he was sure hadn't been there before. It read, "Victim identified. Detective Chike." The cigarette fell from his fingers, leaving a trail of ash on the floor. He blinked hard, shaking his head, but the words did not vanish. His own name sat there, cold and merciless, as though mocking him. He touched his chest instinctively and felt a sudden, searing ache right where the bullet wound on the victim's chest had been marked in the photographs. "No, impossible," he muttered, stumbling back from the desk. He grabbed the photos again, his hands trembling. The man's face, though swollen and pale in death, was his own. The scar above the left eyebrow, the same scar Chike had carried since childhood. Memories flooded in, violent and unrelenting. The gunshot echoing in the dark, the heat of blood spilling onto his shirt, the way his knees had given way near the abandoned tracks. And then, nothing. He staggered to the window, staring at the city lights that now blurred before his eyes. Was he alive? Or was he a shadow? Cursed to walk Lagos in denial of the truth. The city felt different now. He noticed how people's eyes lingered on him too long, how they never seemed surprised when he disappeared from sight. He realized no one had actually touched him since the case began. Not his colleagues, not the witnesses. He had walked among them like a ghost, blind to the truth. Tears burned in his eyes as the weight of realization settled deep in his chest. He had been chasing his own death, piecing together the puzzle of his own murder, unable to let go. At that moment, the voice returned, clearer than ever, carried on the night breeze like a lullaby. "Rest now, Chike. You've solved it." He fell to his knees, the files scattering around him, the city sounds fading into silence. His chest loosened, the ache easing as though a hand had lifted the burden from his soul. For the first time in weeks, Detective Chike did not feel restless. He did not feel the burning need to chase shadows. He felt peace, quiet, deep, eternal peace. When the morning sun broke over Lagos, the city stirred awake. Street vendors opened their stalls, danfos roared to life, and life went on as it always did. But in a dim office where papers lay scattered across the floor, a single chair sat empty, and a cigarette had burned itself out. Detective Chike had finally closed his last case, the case of his own death.